Hey, folks, we're back with another episode of Three Men and an Anime. Huzzah!
Hello.
We made it another week.
We did. This is Peter Bowman, and as always, I'm joined by my good friends and co-hosts, Eric Carlson and Gav Leaf. How are you guys doing tonight?
I continue to exist.
I just had fish sticks.
Okay.
It's been an eventful week.
Okay, then. It's Tuesday. Fish sticks. But at any rate, this week we are covering my most recent selection, which was Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, which we will refer to as Demon Slayer hereforth.
Yeah, because I actually was not aware of the subtitle there.
Yeah. But yeah, it's Demon Slayer. It is actually a very recent show. It literally just ended like a few weeks ago. It's an adaptation of a manga, unsurprisingly. It is adapted. It is done. The studio for this one was Ufotable. So
It's gorgeous.
yeah,
It is absolutely gorgeous. When it looks its worst, it looks better than 90% of the shows out there.
yeah. There are a few times where you're like, "Yep, I can spot the CGI compositing. Doesn't look bad. I just can spot it."
Yeah.
Usually when it's a character at a distance, they will often use a CGI version of it. Which
I thought it was most notable during the Spider Clan fight towards the end with the one guy who's just a head with a human.
Oh yeah,
bones.
yeah. That was easy to spot. That one was very easy to spot. But there are a bunch of times where like you can see a character walking down the road off in the distance. It's like, yeah, that's CGI.
Yeah, that's CG. Yep.
Doesn't look bad. It just, yep, that's CG.
Yep.
So
really
yeah,
much better than everything.
it looks. The show looks great, and the music's fantastic. Yuki Kajura does the music. She just knocks it out of the park. I think it's a she.
No,
The music's great. The animation's great.
Great.
And it's based off a well-written manga, as near as we can tell.
Yeah, that whoever's doing the adaptation was seriously knocking out of the park for no other reason than they could.
Yeah, I've not read the manga, so I can't comment on the manga.
Yeah, same here.
But I can comment on the show. So we're gonna basically hit the basic premise, and then we'll talk about the characters, and then some more the better moments of the show, and maybe things we might have mild critiques of, because I think there are a few things we do have some critiques of.
Yeah.
So the basic premise of the show is our hero, Tanjiro Komodo, is a teenager, lives up in the mountains. Basically, his family makes and sells charcoal. And basically, he routinely will carry the charcoal down from their house up in the mountains, down to the nearby village to sell it and bring it back. The father passed away for a while at some point in the past. And he's got he's got several younger siblings and his mom there.
Yep.
This is a world in which Oni exists, demons. I will say, by Oni, they really seem like vampires.
Yeah, they very much feel like vampires. Except they just eat everything. They don't bother with the whole like drink your blood.
Sometimes it seems to depend on the demon.
Most of them just like
most of them do,
Nope.
but there have been a few where we actually see bodies left over afterwards.
Some people just can't eat a whole person. Those people are weak, but yeah.
At any rate, so yeah, on his way home from delivering charcoal on a very wintry day, he got late. Also, Tanjiro seems to be one of those very helpful, nice guys who, people in town ask him for help and he helped them. Also, we've discovered very early on that he's got an incredible sense of smell.
Yes. Like superhuman.
Yeah.
Like Wolverine.
This will never be important.
Nope, not at all. This is not one of his major powers. No, not at all. So he basically ends up staying the night at this older guy. Basically knows, like, dude, it's late. Come inside. It's nighttime. If you travel in the mountains at this time of night, a demon might eat you. So just stay the night. He's like, okay, fine. Continues on the next morning, and when he gets near his house, he smells blood, and oh my god, his entire family's been killed. Presumably by a demon. The only survivor is his younger sister. One of his younger sisters. Nezuko.
The oldest of his youngest sisters. Yeah. And she's not unscathed.
No. But she's alive. We
It's
don't.
true. She's alive. She's been nommed upon.
Yes,
but
she's
she's
been,
alive.
But she has been. Yeah. So Tanjiro basically carries her down tries to carry her down the mountain to get her to medical help. Nezuko turns out is turning into a demon, and basically they start sort of. She looks like she's about to attack him. A man with a katana shows up to basically slay her because he's a demon slayer. Tanjiro basically is like, no, you can't kill my sister. She's my sister. I want to save her. In quick little fight where Tanjiro proves that he's a lot smarter than you think he is, and a lot more cunning.
He very much comes off as sort of the super nice guy, country bumpkin kind thing, and it's easy to underestimate his intelligence until he starts pulling really clever tricks out of his ass.
Yeah,
like completely out of his ass. Like, I had no time to plan this, but this is what I'm going to do.
Yep. Yeah, but Tanjiro is badly outclassed by this dude.
Yeah. Dude who sells charcoal, goddamn monster hunter.
Right. And the guy's basically about to he starts coming after Tanjiro as he's knocked down, and Nezuko gets in the way, protecting him. Despite that she's a demon, and therefore is, and hasn't eaten yet, and clearly is starving. But she refuses to eat her brother, which is atypical.
Yeah,
we find out.
Like they make a point. He makes a point of pointing out the demon hunter that listen, you demons with the transformation starves them. They need to eat something, and humans are their favorite food. They will eat anyone, friends, lovers, brothers, sisters, doesn't matter. They are going to eat them because they are mindless at this point. Except Nezuko's not. I mean, not that she wasn't trying to eat her brother up until the Demon Slayer showed up.
But during the whole confrontation, the implication that I got is that, basically because Tanjiro was standing up for her, reminded her of who he is, and their familial bond is that goddamn strong.
Mm.
Is Nezuko, and they are not, it's also very clear they are not typical people. There's something special about them and their family in general, is the implication I think is sort of hidden beneath
that's something that's very subtly poked at up until the last fight.
Yes.
When you go, oh, there is something else
going
on here that, thinking back, they were placing hints about.
Oh yeah. Oh no, they laid the groundwork for the reveal. Absolutely.
Just before we get too far into, just to advise, obviously this isn't a single season show. This is going to be the next ongoing.
Yes.
This is the next My Hero Academia kind of situation.
At least we hope so.
Yeah.
It's getting a movie next year, and we're hoping it gets another season after that.
But this does not by any means tell the whole tale. Even from what we've understood, the movie will not tell anywhere near the whole tale.
Nope.
This is a long-ass story to go.
Yep. So, yeah. At this point, basically, the Demon Slayer's like, okay, this kid's something special. His sister is very different because she's a demon and not eating him. All right. I'm going to believe in these two. I'm going to give him a recommendation to my teacher who taught me how to become a Demon Slayer and send them on to him. And if they can survive...
Put a muzzle on the girl.
Put a muzzle on the girl. If they can survive this, if they can survive with him and all this stuff and become Tanjiro can become a Demon Slayer, maybe there's something. He wants to find a way to cure his sister.
Yeah.
Maybe that's possible. I don't know. As far as I know, it's impossible. But,
But people with a lot of hope and faith do crazier things, so...
So, yeah. This was... The Demon Slayer in question was Giyu Tomioka.
Yeah, he becomes important later on.
Just
but not for a while.
Yeah. So, yeah. So this basically... So Tanjiro goes off, eventually meets up with the mentor dude. A few episodes of training, which cover about a year and a half. He passes through the training.
The first arc is basically Tanjiro, learning how to be a demon slayer, being trained by this guy, and learning which end of the sword to hold.
Yeah, he doesn't really know how to use a sword, so he spends a year and a half learning how to fight with a sword, and a particular swordsmanship and breathing technique called, he basically learns water technique.
Yeah.
It turns out there are a bunch of different techniques that are all themed.
There's like insect technique and fire technique and lightning technique, and we only meet one practitioner of it, but beast technique.
Well, yeah, we don't meet a lot of. Yeah, there are a bunch of different types. Anyways,
Yeah.
Basically, they all stem from controlling your breathing.
yes.
It's basically a JoJo reference.
Well, it's which is itself a chi reference. I mean, it all ties back into ki / chi or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So he completes his training, goes off to the test to see if he can make it as a demon slayer, which is a fairly brutal test, and is his first time fighting an actual semi-powerful demon. Unsurprisingly, Tanjiro survives. After that, he gets to they make his sword and give him his armor, his special uniform.
His uniform, it's not really armor.
Well, it is specially treated to basically
like resistant. Yeah,
it's designed to basically normal weapons don't get through this shit. I mean, yeah, it's you won't get cut with this. Yeah, you'll still get hit. Yeah, it doesn't do much against bludgeoning damage, for what we can tell. Over time, he meets up with a couple of traveling companions. There are several episodes where he gets a mission to go fight a demon, goes to fight a demon, go kill a demon, goes investigates, finds the demon, fights it, kills it, move on. He discovers basically that the person there's an original demon behind all the demons, who's the one who basically is the one who can turn people into demons. And
totally not Dracula.
Nope, not at all. There's no Dracula tropes here whatsoever.
Not at all Japanese Dracula.
Nope. Our hero meets said bad guy, whose name escapes me, but we can find it very quickly. Muzan Kimetsu.
Muzan, who is masquerading as a human in downtown Tokyo.
Yep.
Which is when we find out it is not feudal Japan, but during that whole Meiji
during the Meiji Restoration. Yeah,
because there are trains and electric lights, and you're like, holy shit, Tokyo looks like something out of the 20s. Okay, it's
a bit earlier than that,
really
but
interesting place to set this.
Yeah, it really is actually. Because you got this interesting sort of clash between sort of the more rural folks out in the countryside, and then you got the city folk who are Muzan is usually wearing a suit and a hat when we see him early on.
Yeah, he's wearing literally a pinstripe suit and a fedora.
Yep. He changes his outfit when he shows up towards the end of the season, shall we say?
Yeah, just a bit.
But yeah, so Tanjiro runs into him really very fucking early on in the series. But they don't actually come to a fight. Muzan's he decides to distract the young demon hunter rather than fight him, because he doesn't want to tip off to his wife and kid that he's not human, So he turns some random passerby into a demon and wanders off. Because he's horrible.
Yes. So the guy freaks out, tries to eat his wife.
You do kind of get this weird sense, initially you get this thing with Muzan where it's oh, he's living as a human. Is he maybe not quite as bad as we think?
No, he's worse.
No, he's worse. He's utter. It's kind of like he's we haven't got that part yet, but you kind of by the end of it you start wondering, does he have a family or does he have pets?
He has pets.
He has pets.
At best. They are camouflage, honestly.
Yeah.
And he's good at pretending he cares about his family to them. But at any rate, the next thing Tanjiro then meets a pair of demons who help him out, to end up helping him out, and they're not actually evil. Well, we're pretty sure they're not evil. We have God, I can't remember her name. Shoot.
The Doctor Demon and
her
the one who is totally not in love with her, not at all.
Oh, he's very much, very, 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 very much, very much. He definitely has a thing for her. But yeah, the Doctor is. Let's see if I can find it.
But my
Yushiro.
real slow.
Miss Yushiro. Yushiro is the doctor. No, sorry, no. Yushiro is the guy. Tamayo is the female doctor.
That's the one. Yeah.
So Tamayo is she was it's pretty clear she has some connection to Muzan way in the past. She's been around a long while. I think she's mentioned she's like 200 or so at this point. And she's managed to break free and survives on donated blood from humans.
Yep.
Yeah, she visits the blood bank and everything. She's a legitimate doctor, and she uses that as a.
But like, apparently, there are people who donate blood, actually, like actively donate blood. And the other guy there who's an illusionist, was it Yushiro? Yushiro apparently was a young boy who was dying, and she figured out a technique to turn people into demons, which is different than Muzan's.
Right.
So Yushiro is not a normal demon. And she utterly is like, okay, I will not turn. I will give you the option. If you choose to, I will turn you into demons so that you will live on, but you will not be human anymore. And it won't be easy, but you won't die of, consumption. And he apparently accepted the deal.
So through her, we learned that it is not impossible to turn Nezuko human again, because she's been researching this and thinks she might be on the right track, but needs samples of Muzan's blood and those demons that are closest to him.
Right.
So there we go. We've got our first step towards the actual quest. We have a goal. We know what we need to do now.
Right. So this is before we meet the rest of the party, as it were.
Yeah.
They're attacked by demons. They fight. They win. We'll get on to that. We'll talk about that a bit more later. Tanjiro moves on, goes on another mission. This is where he runs into Inosuke and Zenitsu, who are two other demon slayers of his generation, who are both very talented, but are a bit special in their own ways. Like,
they are, in fact, that.
Yes.
That is the best way to describe them.
I mean, they fairly quickly eventually become friends. It takes Inosuke a little bit longer, but he seems like he is, now that he's decided that Zenitsu and Tanjiro are his friends. Yeah, that's going nowhere. He seems very, very decisive when he decides on things. And so, they travel on. They eventually go up to this big. They eventually get sent to this mountain where a bunch of demon slayers had gotten sent and hadn't come back from. It goes very badly for the most part.
Yeah. Nobody comes out of that
unscathed.
Unscathed. And by unscathed, I mean not crippled for an extended period.
Yeah. Inosuke and Zenitsu are both on the verge of death, basically. And
Jiro's on the verge of death there,
yeah. Oh yeah, they all are, but
everyone gets their shit fucked up.
Oh yeah. Tanjiro probably. Zenitsu has the most decisive victory. Interestingly.
Yes.
But he also faces the weakest of the three opponents they're fighting.
Yeah.
That said, dear Lord, his victory is decisive.
Yes.
But he is dying afterwards. So they are rescued by the Demon Slayer Corps. Of course, the Demon Slayers notice that Tanjiro is traveling with a demon. They're like, the fuck?
Well, that can't be allowed. Time to murder her.
And then the leader, they get a message via the crows that basically are used to communicate between the Master and the Demon Slayers. Basically, one of the crows shows and says, No. Capture them, bring them in. We need to talk to the two of them, to Tanjiro and his sister. Fine.
There's actually a fight between two of the highest ranking demon slayers there, as like one of them is the one that first recruited Tanjiro, and the other one is his equal. And I was like, oh, that's a demon. I'm gonna fucking kill it. No, you're not. We're fighting now.
No, you're not. Please stop. No, please stop. Please stop. Look, I don't want to come to blows. Okay, I'm gonna stop you. Oh, the master is saying don't kill her. Fine. The thing is,
we'll bring her in.
The thing is, she is actually the second the master said we're not killing her. She's like, okay.
All right, that's cool.
If the master has an interest, that means there's something interesting here, and therefore I need to hear it. Which puts her like, she's an interesting character, and we'll get to her. But
yeah,
let's just say at this point she comes across as being a lot more cold and heartless than she actually is. She is actually one of the more sympathetic demon slayers, it turns out.
Yeah.
Tanjiro, then we have the trial of Nezuko and Tanjiro. Unsurprisingly, in the end, Nezuko is not executed. Otherwise, this would be a much darker show than you would expect for a shonen series.
Much shorter too.
Well, yeah, because Tanjiro probably wouldn't have handled that well. Our heroes have time to recuperate, are healed, have another training bit, and then are sent off to go investigate another demon, and that is basically where the season 1 ends. Is the reveal of where they're going off to. They're going off to, the next demon they're going to go investigate, which is going to be the subject of the movie, from what we can tell.
Yes.
Is the encounter on the train arc is what it's apparently, the infinite train arc, I think is what it's called, and that's gonna be the movie. So that's the basic plot of Demon Slayer. It is not complicated. It is you look at it, you go, this is a bog standard shonen action show. You're right.
Yep.
Why is it so good? Because it's well executed and there are nuances. So Tanjiro, we'll talk about the characters, I think, at this point. So Tanjiro is, in a lot of ways, your bog standard shonen anime protagonist. He's got a good heart. He's loyal to his friends and his family. He's incredibly tough. He doesn't give up.
Hard work.
He's very self-driven. He's very self-motivated.
Very self-motivated. He will do anything for his friends and his family. And he's not brilliant. He is, however, not stupid. His intelligence gets underestimated a fair bit. He is simple but not dumb. There are a lot of times when he is a lot cannier and more clever than you think he is at first, and several smarter antagonists are caught completely off guard by the fact that no, he's actually figured out what you're up to. He's not stupid. The other his biggest trait is probably his empathy.
Yeah. He is remarkably empathetic and compassionate.
Yep.
He doesn't let that stop him from doing his job, but yeah, it's a remarkable the degree of compassion he has for the demons he has to kill.
Yeah.
I mean, he acknowledges, like, you have done terrible things, and you will continue to do terrible things unless you are destroyed. Yeah, but I do not envy but I understand how you came to this place.
He is. Yeah, his compassion does not interfere with what actually has to be done, because as he points out, the demons are ultimately, for the most part, probably not all of them, but a lot of demons are really tragic figures. And now they've made terrible decisions in their tragedies often, which have led them to where they are, and they are horrible monsters. But they were once people too, and a lot of them didn't really choose to become what they are.
Yeah, a lot of them are. Many of them are victims in their own right.
Yes.
Well, that's the thing that they state. It's a similar sort of situation that Nezuko's in. It's just like, she's turned into a demon, And if left alone, and typical demon, what would normally happen is she'd find and kill humans, eat them, and gain power through that. And that's another thing that they mention. It's like literally a demon's strength can be measured in the number of humans it's devoured. It's the more it eats, the more powerful it gets. And it just so happens that they have that inner drive to eat humans. It's not just that humans are its favorite; it's literally that's what they want.
And it will make them stronger, which means they're more likely to survive, all sorts of things.
Yeah, and they do say that there's one in particular later on that they mentions like they live so long that a lot of the times they do these barbaric things and they kind of forget who they were in the first place. The easier it gets, kind of situation. And yeah, it's like I think there's only throughout the entire show. I think there's maybe one demon that he doesn't show any particular, I won't say remorse, but sympathy for. And that's only because of the situation, in the fact that he had to kill it quick because there's another one about to smash his face in.
Right.
Yeah.
Plus, he was an asshole, and
Well, all the demons are assholes.
Oh, they're all assholes, but yeah, this guy's like, well, I'm dying, but I'm going to throw you around for laughs. Oh, dear. But yeah, they do go out of their way, like, other than the big bad, a lot of them do tend to be, it's not evil for the evil's sake.
Well, some of them end up there.
They end up there. A lot of them end up there, but like there are several which are trying to fill in something missing from when they were human.
Yeah,
through all the wrong methods. Because they just don't. They're not human anymore. They don't understand what it is that they're missing.
Yeah, the math just doesn't click together, but they know there's a missing integer in there. There's something wrong there, but they're not sure what it is, so they're going to try to fill it up. The Spider Clan leaps to mind.
That is one of the best examples of it, and I think we'll talk about that in a bit. Because I want to talk about the other characters a bit first.
Sure.
But Tanjiro is a magnificent protagonist, honestly.
Yes, I am amazed at the degree of empathy they managed to infuse him with, and he's great. I love Tanjiro.
He's just a good dude. Like, and he, like, as I said, he fills a lot of the sort of, as I said, he fills a lot of the bog standard shonen protagonist tropes, but there's more to him than that, and that's the thing that really makes him work.
Yeah. There's more to him than that, and more to the point, there's no one tells you he's a good guy. You're left to figure that out for yourself.
Yes.
And they do a really good job of showing you exactly why he's a good person and how that informs everything he does.
Yes. Absolutely. The fact that he's a good person and empathetic is not an attributed of sort of, that's you're told.
Mm-hmm. Right. It's just something that you pick up on.
You actually see
very quickly.
It's how he operates. It's what he does. From the very first episode with him down in the village helping people out.
Yep.
In understandable and believable ways, given the way he is. He also he gets he learns this water technique and he works very well with it. And his big trump card in the fight in the Spider Forest is a brand new superpower that he didn't have before. Except that they've been hinting that this might be part of who he is since episode 3.
Yeah.
Hell, episode 1. Yeah,
episode 1, really, yeah.
But this is the thing. It's like all of the pieces, the puzzle is the same. The jigsaw fits together just like every other shonen show. The difference is the picture that you're left with is a fucking masterpiece rather than
a nice picture.
Nice picture. It's like there's a bit of extra effort that's been put in to like we said, lay those foundations, to leave the hints, to build things up so that when they pay off, it's not an ass pull.
Yeah.
It's not someone transforming to a higher power level out of their ass. It's no, oh shit, yeah, they mentioned that. I kind of figured that was it's like, I mean,
yeah.
Not to spoil,
my favorite fight, which we'll discuss when we get into fights, is an excellent example of this.
Yes.
I mean, not to spoil anything, but I mean, put it this way, okay? This is a guy who like, in episode 1, we meet him selling charcoal.
Yep.
His family are known in the area for working with charcoal and fire. It is commented by one of the Demon Slayer's swordsmiths that, a redheaded boy with red eyes being born to a fire family, a family that uses fire. That's a lucky omen. Goes to train to be a Demon Slayer, learns water techniques? One of these things is not like the others.
So yeah,
it's like, and yeah, like later on, there's this huge reveal, and you're like, there it is. That makes sense.
of course that makes sense. I mean, it's really well done. It's really well done. The next most sort of longest running important character is his sister Nezuko.
Yes.
Nezuko is, first off, the first thing you notice about Nezuko, she's goddamn adorable.
Yes.
She does not get a lot of dialogue in the show.
Well, she's wearing a muzzle the whole time.
Yes. That said, the animators go to so much effort to make her very expressive.
Yes.
And she spends a lot of time hiding in the box, in the box that Tanjiro carries.
Yeah,
her
that's
in.
actually my one complaint about Nezuko. Now, Nezuko is great. I love her. She's adorable. She's a fucking, like,
I want more Nezuko.
adorable murder machine, and she's the bestest thing ever. The problem is she's not much of a character in her own right, because she doesn't get any dialogue. She even inner dialogue, and spends a lot of the time in the box like a fucking Pokemon.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that today. It's like, I really wish she wasn't in the box all the time like a fucking Pokemon.
Just for reference, it's because the demons are also like deathly allergic to sunlight.
They're not vampires, Gav. I have no idea what you're talking about.
No, not vampires at all. But literally,
so
if one gets hit, one gets hit with sun, it doesn't get a tan; it gets turned to dust.
So yeah, she has a box that Tanjiro's teacher made so that they can hang out together, and she spends all her time in the box. And Tanjiro carries her around inside it because she can shrink herself, because that's one of her demon powers.
She can change size.
She
She can make herself bigger too. She doesn't do it often, but she can do it. I think part of the reason it chews up more of her energy to make herself bigger than.
Yeah.
I don't think shrinking really costs her anything.
And she spends a lot of the series also asleep, because that's what she does instead of eats people. She sleeps to recharge.
Yeah, when we have the training arc where Tanjiro goes off to actually learn how to be a demon slayer. The master keeps Nezuko with him, and it's literally to the point where, like, she spends an entire year asleep. And the master's like, well, I don't know what to tell you. She hasn't eaten someone, so maybe this is how she, recharges. And it's like, she's got to sleep for a year every time she uses the powers. This is because we've just had the first time they've actually fought together as a pair, and she punted a dude's head off, which was hilarious.
Which is what the best character introduction ever. Like, they're fighting
literally
a demon,
her first introduction as a demon in a fight, in a real fight, is punting another demon's head off.
And it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, Tanjiro tries to stand up to this demon, and it just pushes him down, and like almost mounts him, kind of situation, like looming over him with the head about to bite, and its head just goes. And it cuts to a wider shot, and she's just punted it over the fucking tree line.
It's amazing.
And it's freaking adorable. It's just amazing, and she's adorable, and she's awesome. I wish she had more agency.
Yeah, basically, it boils.
I want her to have more agency.
Yeah, the thing is that she needs more. She needs to be out and about doing stuff more often, I think, and I think that will happen as the show goes along. That is sort of the implication. I get, but I'm not certain.
Well, the thing with it is she's kind of growing into herself, because I mean we've met many demons now that have full agency. They can they can be around humans, they can behave themselves, they can talk, they're fully sentient and all the rest of it. Nezuko almost seems kind of
Very childlike.
Childlike in a way. Yeah, it's like she doesn't speak to people. She, I mean, I kind of wonder if that's something to do with this. Well, we haven't mentioned it, but the master put a spell on her, basically to switch things around so that she just to help reinforce the fact that humans are good. You know, humans are not food. Humans are friend. Humans are family. Demons bad.
Right.
Kill demons. To the point where there's certain scenes where if somebody's like annoys her, she goes up to them, glares at them, and bops them on the head.
Yes.
Now, I will say, the thing that I have noticed as the show's been going on is there is less of her inner vision of people appearing as literal family members,
Right.
and more her just looking at people going, okay, like, don't kill people. Yeah, because in the last big sort of thing, there is a moment where she's like, right, people are, don't kill. The last big confrontation, she actually doesn't. You've had the confrontation during the trial. We don't see her looking at the demon slayer in front of her as if he's a member of her family. She's going, okay, he's human. I'm not going to eat him. No.
She's furious and offended because
she wants
stabbing her.
Yeah, he's an asshole.
But she's not going to try to eat him.
Right. She's not, because as the implication seems to be that she's not interested in that anymore.
Mm.
Like at a biological level, she's reacting to the blood that she's being proffered, but she's like, no, I don't want it. I don't need it. I don't want it.
She continues to wear the muzzle, the bamboo muzzle, just mostly as a precaution. But yeah, you get the impression that she's quite, she's able to hold herself back. She's got her own, choice over that matter now. She's not. She as the series goes on, you do kind of get the impression that she's growing in and of herself as well.
Yeah. That is largely due to the way she's the animation of when she's on screen, and how they convey her personality. They do a good job of conveying what personality they're showing of hers without dialogue, which is impressive.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. It's not a spell. It's the hypnosis.
Yes.
Hypnotizes her to see friends and family. But yeah, I think we get the impression that's kind of why it worn off.
Well, I mean, the thing is, it's also
to a degree.
The other thing that is sort of implied there is it wasn't entirely involuntary, and that's partially because that's how hypnosis works, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And this goes great. I just wanted to have more.
I agree completely.
More agency.
I agree.
That's my one complaint about the show. Nezuko needs more agency. Make her awesome. Make her more. If she were any more awesome, then she would just own the show. I
think that will come as the seasons progress. I do think that's gonna be something, because we do get a couple of words out of her towards the end, but in extreme circumstances.
Yeah.
But
I will. Yeah. The other thing I want to say is the other thing I do like about it is while Tanjiro's motivation is protect Nezuko largely, she is not a damsel in distress.
No.
And she does as much protecting of Tanjiro, almost as much protecting of him as he does of her.
She is an absolute, especially in the first fights, she's a monster.
Yes.
But the big fight with the big fight on the Spider Clan's mountain, Tanjiro would not have been able to do what he did without her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the final strike is into a combo attack between the two of them.
I do like this thing though, where they've given her this this little thing where, she doesn't eat people, so she does sleep for an inordinate amount of time. She spends a lot of time in the box of sleep, and every now and again there's a moment like in the middle of a fight, she'll fall asleep. This is not a good sign for the enemy.
Yes.
Because when she wakes up, she tends to not magnified. It's not it's not a full-on thing, but when she wakes up, she's more powerful in general situations. There's one scene where there's one right in the middle of the show where one of the enemies has these balls. I've forgotten the name of them.
Right. They're bouncy balls.
They're traditional Japanese balls.
They're made of silk. I forget what they're called though.
Yeah, canvas ball, whatever they're called. And this demon uses these things to kill people with them. They're super hard. They can be redirected. Blah blah blah. She throws them and just mashes people. And she throws one at Nezuko, and Nezuko pulls back to boot it back at her, and it takes Nezuko's leg clean off. To the point where they had to drag her back into the house that they're defending, and the doctor, I've forgotten her name already.
Starts with the Y.
Tamayo.
Yeah.
Tamayo administers her to help her. She says, doesn't seem like she's healing as fast as a demon normally would, and you see Nezuko fall asleep. She injects her with some sort of healing serum to help out. Next, the fight continues outside. Like next episode, Nezuko shows back up. Demon throws the ball back at her. Nezuko kicks it, no problem.
The reaction is, no, not again. Why did you? Oh, that's why. Oh, all right then.
And they start hitting the ball back and forth, and Nezuko starts winning the power game.
Yes.
It's a really epic version of fucking dodgeball is what they're playing.
It really is.
It really is.
But so the other
just gives you that. It gives you that little impression that Nezuko's like. It reminds you that okay, we've got this little balance, but it's not because Nezuko doesn't get as much screen time. You still get the idea that she's growing just as much as Tanjiro is.
Yes.
My favorite bit about that is that Yushiro basically turns to Tamayo and it's like, so what did you give her to make her do that? She's like, I gave her a healing serum. This is not on me. She's not normal.
It was just supposed to help her grow back her leg. That's not how it's supposed to work.
It's like, did you give her steroids or something? No. Literally gave her a regeneration serum.
Ibuprofen.
What the hell?
Put some Neosporin on it.
So yeah, Nezuko grows over the course of the show, and I think we all agree that we really would love to see more of her as an actual independent character.
Yes,
because she's great, but we need more of her as her own thing. I think. The next sort of recurring character we meet is Zenitsu, who is the most cowardly of all of the demon slayers we run into.
I am not a fan of Zenitsu.
I totally understand why.
I totally get it. I kind of dig him. I wish he didn't yell so much, but that's my only complaint about him. Like, yeah, but I totally understand why you find him irritating.
He is about 5 or 6 tropes rolled into one ball of annoying fucker.
So, yes. He's a coward. He's a womanizer. He's a crybaby. He's very loud.
He will also take it on the chin all fucking day if you show him the least bit of kindness.
Yeah.
Like, that's something we see. Like Tenjiro mentions in passing, like, this box is really important to me, don't let anything happen to it. At one point. Then after a long series, like, Tenjiro comes out of the house that they're in to find Zenitsu, like, hugging and shielding the box with his body while getting the shit knocked out of him by the best character in the show.
I will disagree on the best character in the show, but that's fine.
He has a pig head. He's the best character in the show.
It's a hat. And he's great, but he is the second best character in the show.
But yeah, Zenitsu is
despite knowing it's a demon in the box.
Yeah, and he figures it out really quick because his super awesome sensory power, which the 3 characters all seem to have, is that he's got amazing hearing.
Yep.
Like, he knows he can tell there's a demon in the box by the heartbeat.
Right.
From about a dozen paces away.
Yeah, and Zenitsu's sword, his breathing technique is lightning technique. He only knows one form, but he's really good at it when he's not thinking about it, shall we say.
Right.
It's very clear that's going to change.
This is why I hate him so much, because I can't stand him. I can't stand him when he's actively being Zenitsu. But he has the coolest power set. because it's fucking brutal and it's absolutely eye candy. It's
oh god,
yes.
It is fucking gorgeous when he goes off.
Yes.
Holy
we see
shit.
it. We see it twice, and both times I'm like, "Holy shit! Put that on loop."
It's goddamn gorgeous.
His theme is lightning. He's got like lightning bolts scattering around him,
and he
just
goes flying. He's zoomy.
yeah.
Now, I will say this about him. I like Zenitsu if he's able to dial himself back about 50% over the course of the show, he's going to become a good character. Because
at least on volume.
Underneath all his obnoxious bullshit is a good guy.
Yes.
Like he is dealing with a lot of neuroses and abandonment issues, and like I really I agree with Gav. I wish that he didn't have quite so many of the annoying traits stacked on top of one another. Like
it's like imagine the most annoying crybaby cowardly character in any anime you can imagine, and then add Mineta into it.
Kind of, yeah.
He's not that bad.
That's the thing is he's not that. Like I dislike Mineta more than I dislike Zenitsu. But I get why
I don't dislike Zenitsu, but
I could tolerate
totally
Mineta because he's not a main character.
I can see that. The thing is, I actually there's enough to Zenitsu that I like that I'm willing to put up with the parts that annoy me.
Mm.
But dear God, he looks like such an awful character in comparison to Inosuke.
Yes.
You know, the difference between the two is that although we see Inosuke as, as this brash, upfront character, you can tell there's something going on behind the mask. He's trying to figure things out.
The next character we meet in
Yeah.
almost the same episode. Almost the same episode we meet Zenitsu.
No, it's a couple episodes out. Well, we meet Zenitsu much earlier.
That's true.
Okay. Oh, well, technically, yes.
Yeah. Well, technically, Inosuke is there too. He just didn't show up to the.
He was on screen
because. Yeah. He didn't show up to the last thing because he was bored and wandered off.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because he literally says that.
Meh.
Oh, that's the other thing about Zenitsu we forgot as well. Yeah, the Demon Slayer corps they transfer messages via crow.
Yep.
And a crow chooses them when they become full, to be their messengers. Like Harry Potter, just you don't get an owl, you get a crow. Except Zenitsu, he gets a sparrow,
which is goddamn adorable.
Yes,
of course it does.
Actually, the best part about the sparrow is the sparrow gets fed up with Zenitsu's bullshit.
Yes, the sparrow gives no fucks about fucking Zenitsu's bullshit. God bless that sparrow.
But yeah, the thing I like about Zenitsu is he's got a lot of potential to grow as a character.
Yes.
I think he actually legitimately could become I will say, Zenitsu reminds me a lot of early Usopp from One Piece, which means nothing to Eric whatsoever.
Yeah.
Usopp early on was infuriating, and I did not like him, and he grew into a phenomenally great character. Now, Zenitsu is potentially more annoying than Usopp was early.
Yeah, because Zenitsu doesn't have those moments where he stops and realizes that he might be being a shit.
He does have them a couple of times.
He does. He has. He actually berates himself regularly for being such a shit. He's paralyzed by his own fear. He hasn't been able to overwhelm his own cowardice yet.
Yeah.
He's aware what he's doing is shitty. He just doesn't know how to fix it. Until
he has that huge entire monologue he has when he stays behind when the other two go to the mountain, where he's berating himself for being a piece of crap. Like,
and then he does go up the mountain.
Yeah.
After yelling at himself for a significant amount of time.
Doesn't he do that only because he's realized that Nezuko's going up the mountain?
That's his excuse.
Yeah.
That's his excuse.
No, that's his excuse. Literally, it's his excuse.
Yeah.
He has to give himself an excuse to motivate himself. Because what he wants to do is help his friends, which includes Nezuko.
Yes.
But back to Inosuke. Inosuke is, he's a barbarian. He's a D&D barbarian. So no shock that Gav and Eric like this guy. He is brash. He's loud. gung ho. He wears he's wearing a pig mask, fights bare chest, and he's got a pair of notched swords that he uses.
Yes.
And he is incapable of resisting basically
Any kind of a challenge.
Any kind of a challenge, which Tanjiro uses to get him to do stuff unintentionally.
Yeah. Just Tanjiro being his nice self. Oh, I understand if you can't help out. Everyone has a different degree of pain tolerance. I get they probably really suffering. Fuck you! I'll do more than any of you. Thank you.
You really don't have to, dude. Dude, just lie down. I know you're hurt.
Whether real or not, I mean, they do start to hint about little bits towards the end. But basically, Inosuke's whole thing is he was raised by boars.
Pretty much.
Yes.
Yeah, his family was killed. His mom made sure to got him off to safety, and he was raised by he grew up in the woods on his own.
And here's the thing that I picked up on Inosuke really quickly. He will never ever admit it, and handles it really poorly. But he is desperate for any kind of positive human interaction or acknowledgement. Is that the phrase I'm looking for? Validation.
Yeah.
Any kind of validation. He cannot handle praise. But he's desperate for it.
Yeah. But it's like there's basic human customs and that's all. Like when we first meet him, like at the end of the episode, they're burying the people they found in this house and the demon's killed. He's like, "What are you doing? Why are you burying a perfectly good corpse?"
Why? It's not so much. It's why are you bothering? Why does it matter?
Oh yeah. And they're like, well, and then this is the first example we see Tanjiro basically say, "No, it's fine. We'll do it. We'll do it all. If you're too hurt, I mean, I can understand you've been knocked out recently. Oh, by the way, Tanjiro has a really hard head. That's the thing we haven't mentioned.
Yes.
And he nutted Inosuke into unconsciousness." Because you're not allowed to use the swords on other demon slayers, and Inosuke just wanted to fight someone.
So, bonk out cold.
And yeah, Inosuke gets pissed and says, "Oh, fuck you! I'll bury more than anyone. I'll bury you if you give me a chance."
The other thing we find is that underneath his mask, oh my god, he is the most Bishonen of Bishonen.
He's the bish. He's bish and the bish.
That's the funniest bit. He takes off the pig helm thing that he wears all the time, and he is just like instantly Zanetsu is just completely confused. Like, wow, you are a really hot chick, but why is the rest of you so ripped and a dude? Oh my god, what is wrong?
literally, they're talking like, why does he wear this stupid mask? Pulls it off. He's a girl? What?
Nope, no, he is not. He is just a very pretty man.
Yep. Which, when you're trying to portray yourself as a barbarian, is probably a good reason why he wears a pig mask.
Oh, then it's awesome.
And that too.
Well, the thing is, that's not why he wears it. It's why it's from a meta standpoint. Of course, that's why he wears it.
Yeah.
Yes.
But from in character, no, he wears it because it keeps him in touch with his
background.
He's the one that uses the beast breathing technique,
yes,
obviously.
Yes.
And he's got very, 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 very powerful area sort of situational awareness.
Yes, I was actually going to say that. They never come out and state it. But, like, he's the one that notices what's going on first. He's never caught off surprise. He will often catch attacks from behind. Like,
yep.
Yeah, they never come out and say it, but yeah.
Well, I mean, he's got that. He's got the ability, like when they're up on the mountain, and Tanjiro is like, okay, I can smell demons, but the wind is fucking shit up, and there's some really powerful, horrible stenches blotting everything else out. I can't smell where the thing we're trying to fight is. Zenitsu, can you possibly find it? And Zenitsu's like, not Zenitsu, Inosuke's like, hang on. Okay. Voomp. Yep, they are that way. Great, I'll go fight it. What do you mean you'll go fight it? I'll go fight it. Dude, you're like cut up. I'm totally fine. Oh, Jesus
I'm
Christ.
fine. It's okay. Let's go beat him up. The flesh wound. You're holding your guts in. I don't need those anyway. Come on.
Yeah.
You're missing an arm. I've got two.
It's like there's parts where like they're trying to just trying to teach him like the basics of, you know, you don't have to murder everyone. It's like one of the things is like the people they're fighting are being puppeted. It's a we mentioned the Spider Clan earlier. They're being held up by spider strings and being puppeted to fight them. And Inosuke's like, okay, well, I'll kill them all. It's like, no, they're part of the demon.
They're victims, dude.
They're victims. B, that one over there is a corpse. It's still fighting. So it doesn't matter about killing them. Fine, what do we do?
Oh, okay.
And Tanjiro basically he comes up with this plan where he grabs hold of somebody, throws them over a branch to tangle the wires so that they can't, you know, they can't keep fighting. Inosuke sees it's like, oh, that's brilliant! I'm gonna do it. Just spends the rest of the episode just going around grabbing people, lobbing them over trees, just because that's
Inosuke.
Yeah, Inosuke.
I love him.
Yeah.
He's great. No, he is fantastic.
I love Inosuke. He is simple with enough subtlety that you can appreciate him.
He is one of both he and Tanjiro are simple people who are, but that does not mean they are not. There's more to them than it appears.
It looks initially like he's going to be a real like pain in the ass when he first shows up and he's just trying to beat on someone. It's like he's just being an asshole for the sake of an asshole. He's a Sasuke. He's a Seto Kaiba. You know, he's part of the group, but he's an asshole. So he just fucks shit up for everyone else. It's not that at all. You know, he has one episode where he challenges people to fight, realizes, you know, gets a handle of who they are and what sort of power level they're at, and they're like, yeah, all right then, I'm hanging with you now.
But basically, he is won over by Tanjiro's kindness.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, he finds Zenitsu a bit annoying, but they're still his friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They very quickly become friends, and he is. There's a lot of similarities between him and Tanjiro. Actually, he's less empathetic, but he is possibly more loyal to his friends than Tanjiro is, and that's saying something.
Again, it's something that they never say.
No, of course not.
But
They do a really good job of showing and not telling you what people's character traits are.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things I really, really like about the show.
Absolutely.
So that's our big four, the main group of our heroes. The other major important characters that we should probably talk about, we've talked a little bit about, Tamayo is going to become important again later on. I'm convinced of this.
Yes.
Yeah.
The other two that we probably should talk about are both demon hunters. I mean, we should talk. I mean, there's you know, Tanjiro's teacher, Urotsu. What is it? It's Urotsu something or other. I'm blanking on it. Why am I blanking on his name?
He's always wearing a wooden goblin mask.
Yeah,
You
which
never
is
see
awesome.
him
Yeah.
with a wooden mask.
Urokodaki.
Urokodaki,
Yes. Urokodaki
Right.
is his teacher. He's our typical gruff, stern mentor type. I mean,
Yep.
if you've watched martial arts movies, you've seen a guy like him a lot.
You know exactly what he is.
He is tough on his students because that is the way he can teach them to become better. He sets an impossible challenge before Tanjiro because he doesn't want to see more of his pupils die becoming demon slayers. Because a bunch of his pupils have died recently taking the final test. And Tanjiro gets a bunch of teaching assistants from two of the ghosts of them. And Tanjiro revenges them because, of course, he does. But yeah, I really like the way they handle him. He is a bog standard mentor trope, but he's handled well.
Yes.
Mhm.
And again, like his personality traits are never stated, but you see them as he displays them. It becomes very clear he cares very much about his students over time.
Yeah.
They do such a good job with that. But the two I really want to talk about are hang on, what are their names? Yeah, here we go. Are Gyu Tomioka and Shinobu Kocho. They're the two of the the high-ranking demon slayers we see a lot. Tomioka is the one who discovered Tanjiro.
Right.
And
when they're doing the initial, I will just state when they were doing the initial, what's it called, the selection process where they, qualify to be demon slayers. They go through this whole process of going through all the ranks, and this is how long this show probably could go. There's about 10 ranks, and our heroes here are all on the bottom.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's also the Hashira, who are the ones who are right at the top.
Yeah.
And there's only 10, 12 of them.
12. There's a dozen of them. Yeah. Tomioka is the Hashira of water. He's kind of badass.
Well, I mean, it's pretty much laid out that Urokadaki, whatever his name is, was the previous Hashira of water,
He is, yes.
and he's basically trained Giyu to be his replacement.
Yeah, he retired from active demon slaying to be a teacher.
Yes.
And Tomioka took his place among the Hashira. Tomioka seems very cold and sort of withdrawn and detached.
He's very much the still waters run deep kind of guy.
There's a lot more to him than that.
And we really just sort of scratch the surface with him.
Yeah, we
see that. Yeah, we see that he's not a guy of a lot of words. He's generally very stoic. He doesn't express himself very often.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
he will stand up, stick to his guns every fucking time.
He's very principled.
The other Hashira actually say, they tease him and say, nobody actually likes him because he doesn't join in with anything. He's very, very blunt, very stoic, like you say. I mean, the thing with this is we've mentioned the breathing techniques and all the rest of it before. Like each technique has its own forms. Yeah. So for what we know, I think the water type has at least Tanjiro is taught.
Tanjiro's learned 10 of them.
10. The 10 forms of the water. So different ways of moving the blade, increasing his own steps, his speed and agility. Things like the water wheel, which literally does a full-on wheel of water, which helps him blunt blows and like a larger sweeping arc kind of thing. And that's it, the 10 forms. Except Gyo knows an 11th form, which basically sums him up, and it's literally called Dead Calm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. The reveal of Dead Calm is damn good.
Yeah.
It's
like, okay. But yeah, he's very much more. He's probably the most principled of the Hashira that we've seen, that we've gotten to know, and he's probably the one who's he's still very human, despite that he's very taciturn and detached. A lot of the other ones seem to have lost a little bit of their humanity, and are very vengeance driven. And the impression I get from Tomioka is that he's more justice driven than vengeance driven. Now, this is not to say he's not vengeance driven, because he is.
Well, all the Demon Slayers are.
All of them are, except for
baby Tanjiro.
Yep.
He really just wants to make his sister whole again.
Yeah. But but the thing is that he doesn't understand why Tanjiro feels pity towards demons, and Tanjiro explains it to him, and he's like, "Oh, I don't agree with you, but I understand where he's." You really get the impression he's like, okay, I understand where the kid's coming from on this. I'm not sure I actually agree with him, but I understand it. Okay. What he said makes a certain logical sense. Okay, fine. I'm not going to berate him about that because that's stupid. But Kocho is the insect Hashira, so she's got all this sort of butterfly theme about her.
She's totally not Mothra.
No, totally. She is this petite, attractive woman with she's always giving out this air of being very cheerful and friendly, and she's got this sort of secret dream of wanting to be actually maybe someday for humans and demons to come to an accord and no longer be enemies.
Yeah.
This is what she says.
She become friends. Yeah.
She is physically not very strong. She is actually the only member of the Hashira who's just not strong enough to behead demons with her sword. So her sword is special and basically just has a pointy bit, and she's mastered poisons. And you might be wondering, how the fuck do you poison a demon that can regenerate from anything? Well, they mentioned earlier on the demons hate wisteria. Yeah, so she's got a wisteria-based poison that just fucking kills them. It's kind of actually...
think like wolfsbane with werewolves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, garlic.
Oh, garlic with vampires. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, the insect Hashira is a master of poisons and medicine. It turns out.
Yeah. Oh, the difference between medicine and poison is quantity.
Largely, yes. But we find out over the course of the thing that she's not the calm and happy person that front she puts on.
Mm.
Tundra said, "Yeah, it seems like you're just always angry." And she's like, "Wow, okay, you're right.
Yeah, you're right."
I'm impressed that you noticed that. Holy cow. Yeah, and so she explains her background. She basically puts on this front as a sort of tribute to her older sister who died, who's also a demon hunter, demon slayer, and who really loved her when she she loved seeing her younger sister smile. See Kocho smile, and so she keeps smiling as sort of tribute to her older sister, and has taken on her sister's dream of eventually someday maybe befriending the demons, because though she doesn't really in her heart of hearts believe that, she doesn't want she cares that much about her sister's dream, and she is tired. This is where this front wears her out, and. Mm-hmm. The thing I love about the performance of the voice actress is that if you think back and listen to the way she talks, the entire time you can hear the exhaustion in her voice.
Yes.
It's like, oh, that's subtle. Well done. Like there's this this exhaustion behind her friendliness, and it's very clear that but she's also the most intellectually curious of the Hashira, from what I can tell. So she's the one who's like, oh, okay. The master wants to figure out what the deal with Nezuko is. I'm willing to give it a listen. Clearly something not normal is going on here. I mean, yeah, the rest of you want to murder her because she's a demon. I get that, and part of me wants that too, but maybe there's something more to this going on than I think. So why don't we listen? Why don't we see what's going on? Instead of just outright murdering someone who might not be a threat. Maybe? I mean, especially since the master's saying we're going to do this. We should follow his orders because he's the boss, and we all owe him big. Hello? But yeah, she's a wonderfully complicated character because, in the flashbacks, she used to be very hot-headed and sort of,
Yeah, she was the assistant stopped to help somebody. What are you doing? Why are you stop? Stop helping every fucking kicked puppy.
Yeah, but the thing is that once her sister decided to help help the kid, she's the one who threw the money into the crowd and ran off with the kid to buy the kid.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because she is at heart a good person.
Mm-hmm.
She is a wonderfully nuanced character. I really like her a lot. My reactions to her went in this weird sort of sweeping arc of, oh, she seems nice. Oh God, she's scary too. She's scary, but there's more to her than I thought she was. Oh, okay, I actually like her. She's really cool. That's a cool character.
I mean, when the introduction to her, it's like there's equal levels of like you say. Oh, she seems like a way to be. Oh dear Lord, she's psychopathic. Oh no, she knew the whole thing in the first place. I mean, again, going through. She's introduced as part of the Spider Family arc, and she catches one of these spiders, towards the end on her own. And she's professing, saying she's trying to escape the family. We'll go into the whole thing in a minute, but she's trying to escape the family and break away and get free. And she won't eat another human. She's going clean. She's done with this all. She just wants to get away. I just need to escape. And And Shinobu's like, okay, well, I understand that. I understand. I do understand the whole the things you've had to do because of fear and because of what you've been turned into against your will. I just need to just check a few things first, and I'd really like us to be friends. But I need to ask you, how many humans have you killed? And she's like, I don't know, 7. And she's just, are you sure? Yeah. She's just shown up just as she's actually just caught one of the demon slayers. But you could argue in this like trap that she produces with her hair. Now you could argue that yes, she was doing that as self-defense. Fair enough.
But she explains while she's doing it how she feeds.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's very spider-like. Enveloped in web, she injects venom, dissolve them, and then drink the goo.
Yes, that's her thing. So Shinobu's like, okay, so I understand that. How many humans have you killed? I mean, not including him, 7. She's like, are you sure? Yes, it's just 7. Right. Well, the thing is, I've just came from the east or wherever they were in the forest, and I've passed at least 42 of these cocoons. And that's just that, while I was traveling here, not particularly looking for them.
Yeah.
So she's like, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make you, don't worry, I'm not going to kill you. We're perfectly happy. I'm going to make you atone for your sins. What? Yeah, I'm just going to, cut off limbs, disembowel, that's a good one, and just basically do things so that your pain will cleanse your spirit, and then once that's out of the way, we can move forward and become friends and see where we go from there.
More specifically, she'll make sure that she passes away as a demon with her spirit purified, so she can be reborn in the next life and be friends.
Yep.
But she makes sure she passed, her death would be actually painless and redeeming.
Mm.
Yeah.
So the demon fights back, as she says, "Fuck that shit," and it's like, and Shinobu's like, "Oh well, I guess we can't be friends then."
And that's when we find a better poison.
Yeah, and it's like she's already injected her. She's like, this demon just dries up and dies. And this whole way through is like, she never drops that creepy ass smile.
Yeah.
That's what does it. In this instance, that smile goes from friendly and warm to creepy as fuck.
Yep.
Yeah. Again, nuanced character.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, she's a great character.
Is.
There are a bunch of the other Hashira, but they're not really that well developed in the series. We could talk about them.
Yeah, we get maybe a half dozen words out of each of them.
Yeah. Again, they're gonna be for the later series. Yeah. I think from what I understand, the movie, the next one is going to be dealing with the Flame Hashira.
Yeah.
The guy that doesn't blink.
Yeah.
He blinked once. You saw.
That guy is all of the hype.
Yeah. Yeah. So there are other characters we could talk about. We talked a bit about Muzan. He's the only other demon with really, in terms of that, other than talking about the ones in the fights that we might talk about. Right. Muzan, there's not much else to say about Muzan than what we said, honestly. He's immensely powerful. He can turn other people into demons. If he he does it by injecting his blood into people. If he injects too much, too much of his blood can just kill you, it turns out, in rather gruesome, painful body horror fashion. That was messy.
Yeah.
Also, he can shapeshift.
Yeah, he has a lot of similarities to Old Count.
What? No, not at all.
Yeah, he's got an ability to literally become anyone and whoever, whatever he wants, or at the very least, take on a different form. Because when we meet him, he's a dude in a suit with the hat. as you mentioned earlier. And when we meet him again towards the end of the episode, he's a fairly attractive young woman.
Though if you look carefully, you can still see him in there.
The shape of the face is still there.
It's actually a really good bit of art. Like, it's, that is him. Well done.
Yeah. That's the thing. The shape of the face is still there. It's just a different body.
Well, it's not just that. Like, there's, like, it's not just, like, there's just elements of his face that are still there. It's because, like, they're a little bit...
because the bone structure has definitely changed. Like, he definitely has more feminine bone structure.
Yeah, it's really well done.
I do like how it's kind of playing with the whole, the anime trope of, it's just, everyone's got the same face, just change the hairstyle.
So yeah, those are the main characters that we want to talk about. So we have to talk about. There's one fight we have to talk about, but like the big fight between Tomio and Tomio. Oh god, I can't talk all of a sudden. Tanjiro and the Rui, yeah, the leader of the spider demons.
Yeah.
I don't want to go into too much detail on it, mostly because it should be seen to be appreciated, in my opinion.
It should absolutely.
Yeah, you are going to see if you check online on YouTube, wherever else, you're going to see a whole load of people talking about this scene. Dissecting it, breaking it down, gushing over it. It is possibly one of the prettiest fights I have seen in anime.
It's gorgeous. It is gorgeous.
It's up there. It's really well done.
The thing I like most about it is it's about something.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
As always, it's a conversation. With good fights are actually a dialogue, and this one is. And it is Rui completely not understanding Tanjiro.
Yeah.
And not understanding what it is, and it's also Rui not understanding exactly what it is he wants. Like, he knows what he wants. He wants familial bonds. He doesn't understand what those are anymore. He no longer has that connection to his humanity. It's gone. So he knows he wants a family again, and he has made one with the Spider Clan by turning them into other spider demons like him. And making them fill the roles of his family. And if they rebel,
there's a fair amount of blood involved.
He might not kill them, depending on how they rebel.
We have seen him literally dice family members.
Yeah.
But it's okay, because the demons, they will heal back and they'll learn their lesson.
Yeah, though he does leave one out for the sun.
Yep, the ones that are irredeemable, he will just string them up outside and let the sun do its work.
Yeah.
It was Big Sister he strung up for the sun with webs.
Yep.
Well, she was running away.
Yeah.
So, can't forgive that.
Can't have that.
Yeah, he's, yeah.
The one that I wanted to talk about was the fight outside the Doctor Demon's place.
We should. Yeah, we should. Yeah, actually, go right ahead, Eric. What do you want to say about it?
Because he's fighting a demon that shoots arrows out of his eyes, which are in the palms of his hands, and the arrows force whatever they hit into the direction of the arrow.
Yep.
So what's happening is he can't get close enough to hit him with the sword because arrows keep on fucking with him. So he needs to start counteracting which direction the arrow is, or leading into where the arrow is going, so he can react to it. And to see him thinking this up and thinking through how to counteract each thing, he's using different sword techniques that we've seen him use earlier in the series to achieve different goals. And eventually he figures out, by combining 3 or 4 different techniques together, to form a new style of attack that lets him close the distance and take out the demon. And it's that's not an ass pull. That's structurally, it's you haven't yet seen my final form, but it's just putting together stuff we've seen him demonstrate before and combining them in a new way. That's really cool and clever.
Yes.
Holy shit.
That's the other thing as well. It's not, again, this is one of those shonen tropes where he's going to learn a new technique and that technique will be amazing. And it's no, it's nothing to do with that shit. It's the elements of these techniques that he's used. It's the product of his training, of actually learning with him what he's, taking what he's been taught. Yes, if you take this footwork with this particular sword style at the same time, it is, technique number 3. What if I take the footwork and add it to this sword style from technique number 7?
The thing about it is, I love about it is, we are shown his intellectual process at putting it together.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it is show, not tell.
Yes.
And there's a fair amount of inner dialogue going on. It's like, okay, technique 7. Okay, technique 4. Okay, technique 8. And wait a minute. Done.
And the thing is that the way they animate the new sort of thing he does, you see how the different pieces of techniques are locked together to do what he does. Again, we are shown how it works. We're not like in a lot of shonen shows. We'll have something similar where the hero will go, okay, I know this and this and this. This is how I can combine my powers to do this new technique, and then we just see the new technique.
Right.
Whereas we can actually see him putting the puzzle pieces together and having it lock into place, and then seeing the whole thing together, coming together as it's really well done. It's not done. It is not easy to do this, to be blunt, honestly. Like, I understand why it doesn't happen more often, because actually doing this requires a lot of thinking, a lot of planning and preparation for it. There are series that often will do this, that are capable of doing this. From what I understand, especially later on in Hunter x Hunter, like, because of the rules that the author has set up, the mangaka set up for the Nen system, all of the Nen powers actually make sense when you actually reverse engineer them, because the Nen system, it is actually a system that he came up with for it, because apparently he plays way too many RPGs.
Wait, that's a thing?
Apparently.
Something else I want to say about the fighting, actually, like, I'm not certain anyone else but the audience sees like the water effects.
Oh, no, I'm certain they don't. I think it's just a stylistic thing.
It's an excellent metaphor for showing the different techniques, and it's really cool.
No, I am nigh positive it is literally just visual. It's stylistic, and it's not actually what he's doing. He's not summoning up waves of water.
Yeah.
It's just the way they're showing it. That is the implication
Also,
I've gotten.
The mad director in the friggin' drummer house.
Oh my god.
That, like, Jesus Christ, the amount of so there's a fight with a demon with drums embedded in his body, and each time he strikes a drum, the orientation of the room he's in shifts. And Tanjiro has to try to fight this guy as the demon is drumming on different parts of his body, and the room keeps rotating and twisting, and maybe it's even an entirely different room, and it's like, holy shit. Like, it's a really intense, really entertaining fight, almost entirely because the director decided to murder his animators.
There's a lot of CG work in that episode, in that fight.
There's a lot of CG work in that episode.
And it's really well done.
Really well integrated. It's amazingly well integrated.
And again, we actually get to be shown Tanjiro's thought process and how he figures out how to win the fight.
Yes. And just the cinematography and the shot composition and the fight choreography, all of that in there is just bonkers good. Yeah. Like, yeah, that was an amazing fight. I am really, Jesus Christ, seriously, he murdered his animators.
Oh my god, the show is goddamn
turn
beautiful.
Him so he's facing this way, and then reverse the camera angle and over. And why do you hate my fingers?
Oh my god, all the big set piece fights are really well done.
Yeah.
And like they're almost always about something too. Like, there's, again, every fight's a conversation, and it's definitely true in this show. And Tanjiro, like, all of the fights are really well done. But, like, I love the fact that, the moments of self-realization the various characters have.
Mm.
You know, like as much as Zenitsu is a shit, and he is. Like he does have those moments of realizing that, like, his inner monologue is him, looking back and sort of trying to figure out, like, how can he move, what can he do to stop being such a shitbag, basically.
Yeah.
And how can he move forward and become a better person? And he hasn't figured it out yet, but he might have found an edge piece, maybe. Inosuke's realization that he's not as strong as he thinks he is.
Yeah.
Because, like, he's like, it's not even just like his realization that, yeah, Tanjiro's stronger than I am. Okay. Well, Tanjiro's the strongest there is, and then, okay, who's this Tomioka guy? Oh my god. I'm weak. He just one-shot that demon that I couldn't hurt. And I'm sorry. Also, I'm dying here. Okay. Let's put on Bravura front. Ah! Ow! 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 My everything. Also, I think I just blew my larynx out. I can't talk anymore. But yeah, they all have their little moments of self-doubt and figuring out who they are and what is really important to them. Like, even Zenitsu, to a degree, like, seeing Zenitsu's, like, his flashback to, like, Zenitsu is literally, he is, the interesting thing about Zenitsu, his sword fighting, the way he fights is legitimately, like, he is the guy who has practiced one kick 10,000 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has one sword technique. But oh god, is he good at it!
I mean, they even go out their way. Like they show the scene where the master is teaching them, and the master is like, look, I understand. You're not the greatest swordsman. You're not like the others that can learn and master every single technique the lightning style has. But I have never seen anyone do, like, Form 1 as well as you. And if that's all you can do, then fine. Do that. But make sure make sure there is, if that's all you can do, make sure there's absolutely no one better at it than you.
Yep.
That is your thing. And, the master understands, he's, like I say, he's not the best swordsman, he's not the best person. But he's got this, for whatever reason, he sees this potential in this kid and just will not give up on him. And that's the other thing that he instills in him as well. It's like, that's the one thing about Zenitsu. He doesn't give up in and of himself, but he keeps asking people if he has permission to give up. Like, it's like he asks people for the excuse. He will never quit by himself. But if I get the feeling, if somebody said it's okay, you can go, he would.
Yep.
But no one ever does. And there is a good kid underneath all this.
Yes. And I think over time it'll come out, but it's painful right now. I get it, Cav. Oh, God. So, yeah. Yeah, so I think that basically covers what we want to talk. Like, is there any other moments you want to talk about that really stood out to you in the show?
I'll probably think of them tomorrow. Like, we should have talked about that. Oh well.
There is one little thing that I mean, we've talked about how superlative the animation is in this.
Yep.
They also do the little thing in this that they started to do a lot in One Punch Man. They will deliberately do, like, animation dumb downs.
Yeah.
They do it.
Yeah.
Primarily, it's the lead cast that they'll do it with the majority of the times.
Almost always for comedic effect.
It's always comedic effect, or when a character is caught off guard. It's great seeing them do that with Inosuke when it's just like simple drawn pighead.
Yes.
Because, somebody's praised him and he doesn't know how to handle it. It's like,
What is this warm, fuzzy feeling I'm feeling? I don't understand it. It makes me angry.
I don't understand it. It makes me angry, but also happy. I don't grok.
There's one. I mean, I just to segue there for a second. There's a great bit after the first time they have a big fight with each other. They go to this like little halfway house, which is kind of like a demon hunt, like a recuperation spot. They're allowed to go there for healing and health and food and rest and all that kind of stuff between missions. And there's this doddery little old woman who's just like walking around, like helping them out, and Inosuke challenges to fight every now and again. But she comes out at one point where the other two are inside and Inosuke's outside just trying to get away from it all. And she comes out with like a tray of food and lays it down outside and says, "Hey, we've got this for you. You can have this. We've got this for lunch later, and all this. Oh, I can see your clothes are kind of dirty. Here," pulls out like a brand new fresh robe, and it's like, "These are nice. They're soft. They're all fine, and you know I'll clean your clothes and we'll get it sorted out." And you just see him start to like, he gets the looking around, doesn't say a damn thing, and he's just looking around. And the next thing you see him burst back into the room with the other two, just raging. And it's like, you know damn well it's like, oh my god, I'm going soft! This is awesome! Fuck you for bringing me here!
But by the time they leave, it is very clear he would do anything to protect that little old woman.
Yes!
Oh, absolutely.
He's so full of fucking, like, misdirected rage and he doesn't know what to do with it.
Yes. No, but like he is freaked out by her because she keeps like, you know, they see him at one place, they go to another place, and she's there, and he's like, "The fuck!"
Why was that old woman being nice to me? What did I do to her?
No, she's just a nice old woman who wants to help. What? I don't understand.
That's not how this works.
No, there are just nice people out there. They're what? They're what? What is a nice
There are
person?
people out there?
But yeah, it's real. I love the fact that I love that bit where you realize it's very clear that she has entered his list of people who are good.
Yeah.
Therefore,
people who will murder and die for.
Yes. She is one of the good things. Also, Tanjiro is one of the good things. I like Tanjiro.
Yeah.
Tanjiro is I will never say it, but he is my best friend. Also, the Zenitsu guy is annoying, but
there is a great little bit where like they're in a fight together and Tanjiro gets launched, literally put it over a tree line, and mid-flight turns around. So, midway through, he's like, "Inosuke, don't die until I get back." And Inosuke, for his credit, is like, "Okay." The dude's about to smash him in the face and actually like one shot kill him because it's this big hulking dude, and it's like, "No, wait, Tanjiro says don't die till he gets back. Fuck you."
I love Inosuke.
Oh, he's great. I said he's my second favorite character behind Tanjiro.
Yeah,
but like I totally get why you love him. Like I totally get it. Like again,
he's basically about 30% of all my role-playing characters.
He's great. He is wonderful. He is a good boy.
Just don't tell him that to his face.
Well, unless you're like actually as nice a person as Tanjiro is, then you will just confuse him to death. You're just like, you're a really nice guy. What? I don't understand. What is this praise thing? I don't get it. Stop it. I'm confused. Like, I want to be angry, but I'm not. Why am I not angry?
It's not the way things are supposed to work.
I will also say, I think one of my other favorite moments, honestly, is when they actually see the train in, like, the final episode. And Inosuke is convinced it's a monster that he has to fight. And Tanjiro, who's also never seen a train before.
No, that's some sort of great master of the land. Then I'll kill the master of the land.
It's like, no, maybe it's a guardian spirit. And Zenitsu's like, oh my god.
Have you guys never It's a fucking train, guys.
Can you eat it? Oh my god. It's one of my favorite Zenitsu moments, honestly. It's just his realization, oh my god, they don't know anything about the world outside of the countryside. Oh god. Oh, they're both like Inosuke grew up in the woods and Tanjiro's just a country bumpkin. Oh my god, I didn't realize how sheltered their backgrounds were. But it's all about. I just love Tanjiro's like, no, it could be a guardian spirit. It's like you like the first thing you think is he's being clever to try to distract him. Then you realize that is not the sort of thing Tanjiro does. He wouldn't lie to Inosuke like that.
No,
which means
he
doesn't realize what it is, and then Zenitsu points it out that of course he doesn't know what it is. It's so good.
It really is.
But yeah, this show is alternate. It has these beautiful moments of comedy, and it is at the same time, it's got great emotional moments, and it's got just some kick-ass fight scenes, and just it's a good story too.
Yeah,
and I love the characters. Like they do a really good job with it. I'm really impressed with the show so far. And as I said, yeah.
Yep, that's season 1. Obviously, the movie is coming up. I will be following the movie. I'll be following season 2 if and when that arrives as well.
Yep. Oh no.
This is on the list.
This has gotten on my list also of things I'm going to. There are other shows that are on my list of stuff I will keep track of, even if it's like I will wait till much like There's another example of this is Bungo Stray Dogs for me. I've not watched season 3 yet, but that's because it's just finished. I was waiting for it to finish so I can binge it because I want to binge it because yeah. But yeah, I'm going to be watching season 3 of Bungo Stray Dogs because I love Bungo Stray Dogs. It is my jam.
And it's probably going to show up on here sooner or later because we've done the first 2 seasons.
Yep.
We'll see. Depends on what I think of it. But like, we watched the movie. We're not, and yeah. Yeah, at any rate. So we should probably go into our final thoughts on Demon Slayer here. So Eric and Gav, then I'll finish up since it was my selection.
So this is a great show. It deserves a lot of the praise it's gotten. Not just from us, but from the rest of the internet, apparently. And yeah, it's ufotable, so it's going to be gorgeously animated. But unlike, say, Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works, it is well written with amazing characters and some degree of nuance. It's seriously gorgeous. There isn't a character that I don't like in it. Simply ones that are less my favorite. That are less than my favorite. Yeah, I don't have a bad thing to say about this show. It's great. It's well paced. It spends time with its characters, but it doesn't hold your hand with anything that's going on. Yeah, I really like this show. I feel like I should say something bad about it. I already did. Like
more Nezuko.
Yeah, just more Nezuko.
Yeah,
give the poor girl some agency.
I think that's the I pretty much echo what Eric just said there. My only real, I'm not gonna gush about this. In fact, my only 2 drawbacks to this show are exactly the same. More Nezuko, less than Itsu. Well, if not less, but at least I don't want to judge. Yeah, I don't want to judge it on an unfinished product.
Right.
Zenitsu is nowhere near the finished product right yet. He's got a long way to go. I just want to see that progression begin sooner rather than later.
Fair.
I think you can still have a good, interesting character without him being dialed up to 11. Other than that, yeah, just more of the same. Literally, if you, it's maybe that second season curse, but if you can deliver the second season, more of this, and it's written just as well, and yeah, sign me up, strap me in.
Yeah, I echo the things. I totally get why Gav doesn't like Zenitsu. I get it, like, but Zenitsu is actually normally the type of character I don't like, and I don't really understand why I like Zenitsu as much as I do. I don't get it. There's some alchemy about the way they put him together that I actually enjoy. I do. That said, again, I also echo please give Nezuko more to do. Give her more agency because she's great. When the little bit she get is fantastic, and we need more of it.
There's no logical reason to like, we've seen. I mean, other than the fact that she's a bit special, and even in demon circles, all the other demons have absolutely no problems fucking monologuing and this, that, and the other, and having grand plans and being, independent. So there's no reason for her to be a Yuki Honor in the box. Give her something, make her a character.
Yeah, give her more character moments. I would agree. The music's fantastic. Like,
yes.
Wow, the score is great. And it's got a banger of an opening too. Jesus.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the ending theme's good too. Like, the music's just good in this show. I love the writing is great. They do a phenomenal job of showing, not telling, just like constantly. And I'm looking forward to more of it. Like, I'm hopeful that they will continue being good at what they do. I want to see the characters evolve more because the characters evolved over the course of the season. So keep doing that. Have them develop more. Give them more nuance.
I think that's the main takeaway from this. I've been trying to rack my brain about it the entire time, and this is it. From your typical shonen things, even in this one season, it's the characters that we're seeing grow, not their power sets.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah. No. The writer gets that the character is more than what they can do. It's who they are. And I adore that about this show. And Tanjiro is not about his water breathing technique. It is about his empathy. Like, that is the core of who he is.
Absolutely.
And I fucking adore that. And
that's the thing. His techniques grow because of who he is.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Again, like, we see the fact that he's got a brain and he's using it, and well-written show. I approve.
If season 2 turns out to be, go to the top of the mountain and learn this new secret hidden technique that we knew about all along from the other master. It's like, no, fuck off.
The thing is, that could be done well.
Yeah.
Like, I'm willing to give them a chance with that trope. Because they might knock it out of the park.
They might do.
So yeah, we all love the show.
Roshi.
We all really love this show, and we recommend it highly.
Yes.
Go watch. It's pretty. It's good. It's fun. So next time, Eric, you have the next selection. What are you picking?
So I was thinking I want to do something a bit classic and a little surreal. And from the few episodes I've seen of this show, it's really surreal. So we're gonna do Revolutionary Girl Utena. So it's been on my list for 1,000 years.
Oh yes.
Well, Peter's seen this before.
A long time ago, and I've been wanting to rewatch it. Revolutionary Girl Utena is that this is going to be interesting.
All right. Cool.
Sweet. All right, so I'm looking forward to watching this again because I remember liking it the first time I watched it, but that was literally over 20 years ago at this point. So yeah. God, when did that show come out? I gotta look this up. Hang on,
Ages ago. I'm going to be honest. I'm a little annoyed that it involves me going back to high school. But...
This show ran from 1996 to 1998. The manga ran from 96 to 98, and the anime came out in 97. So
yeah, we're back in the golden age.
Yep.
So it's been over. This show is over 20 years old. I remember watching it roughly when it came out. So yeah.
Well, like I said, we're going back to the classics here.
Yep.
I wanted something with actual hand-drawn animation after that
Masterclass in using CG.
That masterclass in CG that was
Yeah.
That was ufotable.
All right, so that's going to do it for this week, folks. This episode, guys. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you enjoyed the episode, please like and subscribe to the channel. Throw a comment up. Feed the algorithm, guys. Please feed the algorithm.
Yes. Talk at us.
Smash that like button and subscribe.
Oh, God, don't turn into one of those, Eric, please. No. No.
I did as deadpan as I could. I'm sorry.
But yeah, the recording will go up on YouTube. We record the show live on twitch.tv/MechaGM. It happens on Tuesday evenings, but it's when we get around to it, when we finish the show. So
Yeah.
it's usually either roughly every other week or roughly once a month, depending on how long the show we're covering is. So
Yeah.
Which is why we won't don't do shows much longer than 20 episodes.
yeah.
Because otherwise, we'd be doing one episode every 6 months.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey guys, we should do One Piece so we can do one episode a year.
Yeah.
One episode a decade.
Yeah, it would take us a long while to get through that. Anyways, that's going to do it for this episode, guys. Thank you for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.